think we need to know how this all started? The individual who started it all got a readout from the call between President Trump and President Zelensky, writes a memo the next day, uses terms like scary, frightening, crazy, and then waits 18 days to file a complaint. And who's the first person he runs off and sees in that 18-day interim? Adam Schiff's staff. And you don't think the American people have a right to know who that individual is? Come on. I mean, we're talking 330-some million people in this country. We're talking about removing the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, based on that guy's memo, that guy's complaint, who the first people he talked to were Adam Schiff, who's running this closed-door session, this closed-door process. I think the American people like to know. You don't think the American people have a right to know the individual who started this process to try to remove the President of the United States 13 months before an election? You don't think the American people have a right to know that? Don't you think we need to know how this all started? The individual who started it all got a readout from the call between President Trump and President Zelensky, writes a memo the next day, uses terms like scary, frightening, crazy, and then waits 18 days to file a complaint. And who's the first person he runs off and sees in that 18-day interim? Adam Schiff's staff. And you don't think the American people have a right to know who that individual is?
On this episode of Just Informed Talk, Operation Red October is on and active, according to my sources, which say everything you're seeing with Joe Biden and all of the corruption being exposed by President Trump is a part of an ongoing operation which has been in the works for the last almost 2 years, and it's something Q's been telling us all about. You guys are going to want to stick around to hear more about that, plus a whole bunch of other breaking news, so stick around. Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to another episode of Just Informed Talk. As always, I start by saying thank you to each and every one of you who's hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button right here, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you get notified when these videos get posted. As always, we pick up right where we left off here at the Q board, Q post 3570, and we still haven't had any new Q posts since August 1st, but we are waiting in a holding pattern, and we do expect the Q post to come back soon. That is because we are expecting the board 8chan to come back in a new form under the name 8kun, and this is a whole new thing. We're waiting for it. It is in the works, but everybody's expecting this to happen basically right with the declassification of the FISA. So with that in mind, we do have a big episode tonight. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the corruption in Ukraine and how it's spiraling out of control. You even have members of Congress, including Jim Jordan on Capitol Hill, coming out and saying, wouldn't you as the normal American citizen want to know who this whistleblower is, this singular person who is trying to overthrow a democratically duly elected president of the United States, the leader of the free world in Donald J. Trump. So you guys are going to stick around to hear that. Plus, did Meghan McCain make a big slip up on national TV in saying that they killed her father? Well, I thought that her father died, as far as the official story goes, of cancer, a tumor in his brain. So why would she say on national TV that they killed my father? Well, she didn't say that exactly, but you guys are going to want to stick around to see exactly what she did say, and you be the judge for yourself. But before we get into the latest news stories, I want to start, I always come back here to the landing page, and I remind everyone, look, you guys are what make this channel work. You need to share these videos, get them out on your social media, because YouTube is actively suppressing the content on this channel. They're deranking it, they're downgrading it in the suggested videos, and I know a lot of you get tired of me saying this, but it's the truth and it's what's happening, and you need to know, and there's always new people coming. So if you are just getting into this channel, guess what? I'm giving you a task. Go and hit the share button on this video, get this out on your social media. That's how we get around the big tech censors who are trying to shut this down. Also, there is this video right here, what is QAnon the Great Awakening, in case you're going, what have I stumbled onto, and what's this guy talking about? So, let's get into the first story, Hunter Biden. So, in a exclusive interview on ABC News, Hunter Biden has decided to get ahead of the story that's already out there. So, this is damage control from the Bidens, and this guy is terrified. He is coming out and saying, look, Yeah, of course I wouldn't have got this job at Burisma if my last name wasn't Biden. Well, of course, Hunter, we already know that. And as Q told us, the hunters are becoming the hunted, as in this case, it was a most literal post from Q, because Hunter is one of the keys to understanding the corruption that has been taking place inside of our government for so long. Hunter is just one example of dozens and dozens of others where you have politicians taking money in a pay-for-play scheme, selling their offices and enriching themselves and their families at the cost of the American citizen. So you guys, we're all hearing this together, and Hunter Biden obviously is the example. Now, you can watch some excerpts from this interview for yourself, but Joe Biden keeps on coming out and saying, nothing to see here, nothing's wrong, but if you want to see those clips, I recommend that you check out the article. I'll link in the description. Links to everything that we talk about here will be in the description, and the article basically goes on to explain exactly what we all know, which is that Hunter Biden was involved in this company's business dealings because of his father's last name. And like I said, it's a way of these guys selling their offices and enriching their families and themselves. So this is the criminal activity that we have to continue to examine. I was just, believe it or not, in Miami at the American Priority Conference, as you guys probably know. I've mentioned it on the channel. And listening to Donald Trump Jr. speak, I think he makes a great point. If Donald Trump Jr. had done a fraction of what Hunter Biden done, we'd have the entire Congress investigating. We might have the FBI. They might have, teams from outside the country coming in to investigate. But because it's Hunter Biden, we can't even look at it. And that's the problem with our country as a whole right now. Obviously, you guys can watch this and kind of glean what you want out of it. Hunter says he takes full responsibility, but he didn't do anything improper. Yeah, right. We all know what's happening here. It's fairly obvious, not to mention the fact that here you have Joe Biden's brother getting a $1.5 billion contract in Iraq without any knowledge of construction. No construction background whatsoever, but now he is, in fact, the construction expert. In case you're keeping track here, you have Hunter Biden going to Ukraine without any experience in oil and gas and becoming a top executive at an oil and gas company. You have him then going over to China with his father, the vice president at the time, getting a $1.5 billion investment from the Chinese state-run bank into his hedge fund that he's running, right? And then you have Joe Biden's brother getting a contract through the American government for work in Iraq in construction, which he really has no experience in. So you see a pattern here that's starting to emerge, and I think we all need to pay attention to this pattern because it's very, very important. And I'm going to leave these articles in the description if you guys want to go read them for yourselves. Now, here's another interesting story I think we really need to touch on. Now, this is Meghan McCain, and I'm going to play you this clip of her speaking about her father and how he basically, you can hear her for yourself. Listen to her words, and you tell me what you think.
I've been getting into it on Twitter this morning with people over this, is that people are saying this is just free speech, you're being a snowflake, you're so sensitive. First of all, you're talking about sitting senators, and you're talking about Congress people, Maxine Waters, Mitt Romney, Adam Schiff, Bernie Sanders, President Obama, the Clintons, my father, you can't kill him again, but whatever, Rachel Maddow, Black Lives Matter, these are real people. And so I always thought that if you, in the same way that if you make a threat against someone in office.
I don't know if you guys just caught that. Meghan McCain literally just says, my father, you can't kill him again. Now, what do you think she might be referring to? Every dog having its day? National Dog Day? The 30-day exact marker before John McCain mysteriously passed away? And the fact that we can make a pretty good guess that what he did with ISIS and what he did against this country may have caused him to have been executed. But that's Not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what Meghan McCain said. She literally said, you can't kill my father again. So is she saying the cancer can't kill her father again? Is that what she was trying to say? Or did she make a Freudian slip and actually put it out there, what we already suspect? So I just thought that was interesting, and I had to share it because it ties right into everything that we're going through. Why is President Trump under attack all the time? Why are they coming after him? Why is this fake news machine doing nothing but attacking him? Project Veritas is in the middle of exposing CNN, and you should go check out Project Veritas's work right now in what they're doing and uncovering what's happening inside that network. But to talk about what the fake news really is doing, we have to understand some of the ways that they deceive the American people. So this is an interesting story. ABC News decided to fake, get this, to fake war footage of the attacks in Syria by using this very dramatic footage from a gun range in Kentucky, where there was just all of these different fire bombs going off and all types of stuff, where they used that footage and then played over it their own reporter reporting for, like, as if they were in this war zone and that this was an active scene that they were filming. So that's how these fake news liars continue to make themselves the enemy of the people. And this is just one example of many, but this is how they deceive you and the American people at large, because they are liars and they are complicit in the criminal actions of many of these individuals that we are trying to expose. Not to mention, you have fake news CNN, right, as we're exposing it through what is happening with Project Veritas, as I said, saying that the White House is alarmed over the Ukraine shadow diplomacy and how they were coming after them early and deep. What this article basically goes into is the fact that this Ukrainian Ukrainian diplomat or liaison that was working through the White House, who is talking about all of the very unsavory actions of the president, is just another deep state puppet who is being played against the president of the United States. They're trying to remove him from office. And of course, you have the fake news CNN, whose entire agenda from the top down, from Jeff Zucker down, is to impeach President Trump, because they are trying to unseat a duly elected president in this country without any crime, just because they are, in my opinion, evil actors. And when I say that, I mean it very specifically to the intention behind what they're doing. There's no objectivity. It's subjective. There is no unbiased. It's biased. It is them trying to enact their political will over the American people, and they claim to be a political or a news organization when they're really basically just another Media Matters. They're another any left-wing activist organization you want to name. That's what CNN is. CNN is a left-wing activist organization who is attacking our president as we speak. Now, speaking of attacking our president, you have the other fake news over here at the Daily Beast saying that President Trump suspects that it's John Bolton who is behind some of the Ukraine leaks. Well, yeah, probably, especially given the fact that John Bolton continues to come out and rail against President Trump. And what do? Well, you think of it this way. This is the way I've thought a bit of it. When everybody goes, why does President Trump keep bringing all these deep staters into his administration? And it doesn't make any sense. But I always turn and say, have you guys ever heard of the phrase, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Do you not think that's exactly what President Trump is doing right now? And we know exactly who each and every one of these deep state actors is, and we're feeding them exactly what we want them to know, so that when they come out against us, we can expose them for the corrupt criminals they are, right? And I think that's important to remember. Just take that with a grain of salt, because it's just one more example of things that we are seeing that continue to happen every day in the news. Now, switching it up, let's go to another story. Apparently there is something called America's Stonehenge. It's a very popular tourist attraction. And I just thought I'd point this out because it seems that this monument has been defaced, and people are speculating that what was carved into it was a WWG1 WGA, where we go one, we go all. First of all, obviously that I don't condone that. I don't think we should be defacing any type of historical monuments. I do think that probably whoever did it thought they were doing something good, and I'm not even sure if that's what it says, but I thought I'd point that story out because that kind of was something I wanted to talk about very briefly. A few other important stories I think we should cover before we kind of wrap it up here is this story right here, talking about the connections between this Little Kids Foundation and this kind of symbolism that they point out here. But what's more important than the symbolism, which talks about the sacrificing of young children, virgins, whatever, and how that is kind of it looks like it's woven into some of these pictures here. Think about what the Little Kids Foundation is. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about these people. I'm just saying that it is strange to me as a human being to have an organization that's dedicated to teaching adults how to massage children. That to me is disturbing, right? And then you take that to the next level, right? Take it to the next level and think of why President Trump keeps misspelling little when referring to Adam Schiff. He is making a direct reference to the Little Kids Foundation, Kid Touch Therapy, and Adam Schiff. So just please remember, when you hear President Trump say little, Liddle, he is referring to Kid Touch Therapy, the Little Kids Foundation, and what has been alleged against Adam Schiff has a lot to do with the Standard Hotel and certain incidents that took place around there and other things. But I just thought I'd clarify that because a lot of people are asking questions, about that right now, and I just thought I'd get it out there too. And then this story, LeBron James. This is just blows my mind, but it really doesn't. LeBron has come under fire now because he blamed China after going after the Rockets GM who came out against the communist Chinese in Hong Kong. Well, isn't that fascinating? Isn't it fascinating how his favorite basketball player, LeBron James, is coming out and just going all in on the Chinese Communist Party? Now, my question is, does LeBron James know anything about the Uyghur internment camps in Eastern China? Or Western China, I should say. And does LeBron James know anything about the abuse, the human rights abuses against the Falun Gong practitioners and the mobile death vans that will go and pick people up off the streets, political dissidents, and harvest their organs for the highest bidder? Does LeBron know anything about that, or is he just another blank-headed ignoramus who gets millions and millions of dollars to stand up and espouse an opinion that is completely uninformed and uneducated? Is that all he is? He's just a talking head. He is literally a pea-brain moron who hates, I don't even want to say he hates this country. I think he genuinely, in his mind, he probably thinks he's doing the right thing, but the guy is just completely misinformed, and it's either ignorance or it's malicious. I'm going to say it's probably a combination of both, and we need to call this out for what it is, because China is trying to influence and undermine our democratic republic here in America with their communist values, which they're pushing on these moron athletes who then espouse them to millions and millions of people who really don't know any better. And it furthers the cycle of ignorance, and it actually undermines our country's strength and security globally. But nobody seems to want to talk about that. Everybody just wants to go, oh, LeBron, he's so good at basketball. That's really all that matters. Well, no, it really doesn't actually, because we wouldn't have such a great basketball association and all of these great things that we have in this country if it was being run by the communists. So that is definitely something I think we have to continue to address. And if you guys remember, this is an important story, okay? I want you guys to go back, watch this last video that I did talking about the deep state bases, and we talked about California, we talked about PG&E, we talked about California power outages, right? And how they were all connected back to possible operations that were ongoing to oust rings of criminals in that area. And the theories that have come out of that, you guys are going to want to hear about. But what I thought was very interesting was that we have a pretty big 4.5 earthquake in San Francisco, which is just outside of the city. And what we have talked about is about possibly there are underground tunnels, bunkers, where crimes are being committed, where corrupt criminals, evil people are committing very evil acts against people and this country in general, and that President Trump may have authorized the destruction of these bunkers and tunnels, and that those bunkers and tunnels are being used obviously against us, but it's all a part of the Red October operation that is active. And trust me, I've talked to military sources who say Operation Red October is active and it is ongoing right now. And you guys can take that to the bank, okay? Not to mention, on top of that, we have Red October coming against the Pope as well, where you have this coming out. Mike Pompeo was heading out to meet the Pope himself, and right before that, it seems that his holiness, if you will, decided to order a raid on one of his top security Swiss Guard offices. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it has to do with the fact that apparently unbeknownst to his holiness, there were hundreds of thousands or lots of money that was being, maybe even millions, being taken from his charity and used for some pretty nefarious things, including these operations, I believe, to allegedly blackmail people, sex operations. And this is just one example of how we are continuing to come against these individuals and expose them for who they are. And now they're having to submit to what is happening all around them. So I just thought I'd point that out to you guys, and we definitely have a lot more to cover, but we're going to go ahead and just leave it right there. Now, a few more things before we go. Obviously, if you want to help out the channel, come here, watch these videos, share them on my social media, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and leave your thoughts, theories, and insights below. I want to hear what you guys have to think about everything we talked about today. Another way you can help out the channel is to come over here and find me on Twitter. That's at JUSTINFORMED on Twitter. That's the official page for Just Informed Talk. Come find me at JUSTINFORMED on Twitter, and we can have a conversation. It's a great way to connect outside of the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys all over there. Also, don't forget to check out JustinformedNews.com, the official website for Just Informed Talk. Links to the Q stuff, different news sites, breaking news, and of course, the latest videos from the channel right here. And don't forget also to be brave. Download the Brave browser, install it, and run it just like you would any other Internet Explorer or Internet browser like Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, you name it. But why this is better is it's a win-win. When you download and use it, it's an internet browser that blocks ads and makes your internet experience that much better. Plus, when you download it using the link in the description, they make a contribution to Just Informed Talk, and it helps the channel out big time. So thank you for that. And a couple other ways you can help. You can come find me on Patreon, patreon.com, crowdfunding website, where you can make a monthly donation. You set it and forget it, and know you're helping contribute to this channel on a regular basis. And you guys are the ones helping keep it alive and helping me keep making content on a regular basis. So thank you for your help and support. Also, I have a GoFundMe set up if you want to make a one-time or anonymous donation. That's going to have links in the description to all of that. So come check out those if you want to help out the channel, and I really appreciate it. But before we go, we do a segment at the end of each one of these episodes called God's Grace is Greater, where we talk about God's grace and how it is truly greater. Now, I want to talk about something very important today. Just in trying to do this work, I'm still traveling, I'm still on the road, and I'm actually traveling internationally, believe it or not. I've been having a lot of work to get done, and I'm trying to get a lot of things put forward, and this is definitely a part of that as well. But I just want to talk about something. You know, things can try your patience sometimes. Sometimes you may get upset at small things. Sometimes, you know, if somebody just says the wrong thing, it can kind of irk you. Or you can just be out traveling and not in your own familiar surrounding, and it can cause a little bit of extra stress. And I'm definitely guilty of that right now, just not being, you know, calm and cool and collected. And how do I center myself? How do I bring myself back? Well, I use the Bible. I use the tools that God has given us in order to help ourselves, and I really want to share these words with you. I hope they help you, because I really want them too, and I think that they can help me and all of us together. But I want to share this out of Psalm 119. It's verse 9 through 16, and I want to share this with you. It says, "How can a young man keep his way pure? By keeping your word. I have sought you with all my heart. Don't let me wander from your commands. I have treasured your word in my heart so that I may not sin against you. Lord, may you be praised. Teach me your statutes. With my lips I proclaim all the judgments from your mouth. I rejoice in my way revealed by your decrees as much as in all riches. I will meditate on your precepts and think about your ways. I will delight in your statutes. I will not forget your word." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I think I need to hear right now. And I hope that maybe wherever you are, if you're going through something similar, you're not feeling that great, and you're trying to wonder, how do I get back to God? How do I calm down and center myself? Just hopefully, I pray that those words reach your heart, and I know that they've reached mine now, and I can feel God just coming through me and calming me down, because, you know, when things don't go your way and things keep messing up, it's easy to get stressed, it's easy to get frustrated, it's easy to get angry, but you have to center yourself on God and remember that you have to look to God's word, and you have to put God in your heart and pray that you don't wander from his commands, because you've put all this work in to put God first in your life and to treasure his word. So remember, if you're in that situation, center yourself, read a verse, put yourself in a better place and pray. And that's my advice to you, especially if you're having a situation with your family, friends, coworkers. Use that advice, and I hope it helps you as it's helped me. And I'm always praying for all you guys, and I thank you for all your prayers and support for this channel and what we're doing here. So that's pretty much where I'm going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you guys for watching this episode of Just Informed Talk. That's going to be it. A few more things come here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and hit it, punch it, tap it, bop it, twist it, turn it, whatever. Hit the like button if you guys like this content and want to see me make more. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.